Mr. George Magdalani, are you here?
I don't see
Okay.
him.
What I'll do is I'll have my council member counterparts. Mayor Pro Tem Angie English can do the invocation today, please. And Councilwoman Katrina Manning, if you could do the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
If we could all bow our heads. I just want to thank you, Father, for your continued grace on us. Lord, may you have mercy on all those that have yet to receive you. Thank you, Father, for a great meeting this evening. We pray for the loss of those in Israel, and we ask for peace, Father. May you help us through all this, and in your names, amen.
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 Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Could we tell the baby that oral communications is in about 10 minutes, please? 10 minutes, okay?
So cute.
If she could just keep it in a little bit. All right. The roll call, please.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Councilmember Manning,
Here.
Councilmember Montero,
Present.
Councilmember Patterson, Mayor Pro Tem Reyes English,
Here,
and Mayor Vargas.
Here.
All present except Councilmember Patterson.
which is, he's excused.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Mr. Clerk, can you read the guidelines for oral communications, please?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Pursuant to Government Code Section 54954.3, all remarks should be addressed to the City Council as a body and not to any individual council member. During oral communications, speakers shall have 3 minutes to state their business. The Brown Act prohibits the City Council from providing a detailed response or acting upon any items not contained on the agenda. The governing bodies, as a body, shall have the discretion at the close of oral communications to refer any remarks to the city manager for study, investigation, report, and/or recommendation.
Mr. City Clerk, do you have anything up there?
No, Mr. Mayor, I don't see any speaker cards.
Anybody wishing to speak, please come up to the podium, please. Yeah, no problem. It came quicker than I thought. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. I don't mind.
So, good afternoon. I just wanted to ask the body to reconsider you guys have recently implemented Title 10, Chapter 10.36.100. It's in regards to the designated stall parking that you guys created recently, that program. So that program, you know, I understand the overall value of it, but it's unfair to everyone. Not everyone drives compact cars, and I have to drive around in circles looking for parking, and then, you know, with my family, and then bring my family back. So last night I was issued a citation, and I actually have it in my pocket. So this is what brought me here today. I tried to park as close to the driveway as possible, but my car doesn't fit. I bought my car in the state of California, so it's not illegal. I didn't truck it in, it's not custom. And yet I can't park as a resident of Hawthorne in the first available spot because of these little T's that were created without getting a $48 fine. So, you know, not only do I feel that it's not fair to the rest of the residents, there's no signage that explains it. It was just something that all of a sudden appeared in the streets, and everything else that's enforced has signs, there's times, there's dates, you know, and like I said, I get it. And not only as I'm driving around, you know, not only I'm creating more emissions, right? I should be able to park to the first available parking, turn my car off, and it's it. When I have to drive around for 6-7 minutes until I find parking, you guys ever considered how much additional emissions, you know, we're creating? Well, the bigger vehicles, at least. I actually, if you guys could revisit that, the way it's enforced, and maybe write an exemption. I mean, I get it that people play games with parking. Sorry. I get it that people play games with parkings, but I mean, there should be another way that you guys can enforce this without having to limit the residents' sections of where I can park. You know what I mean? That's all I have. Hopefully you guys can revisit it, and like I said, I'm gonna appeal my citation. Obviously, I still believe it's unfair, and
Do you have a parking space in your living unit? Either the apartment that you rent for your apartment, or do you have one for the house?
No,
you
no, I
maintenance?
do have a parking spot. It's just
Okay.
that the issue is that at times you need to move your cars, you know, for
Okay.
XYZ reason. And XYZ reason got me a $48 citation because it doesn't fit. So, you know, there should be some sort of exemption. I mean, the officer should clearly see, oh, he tried. Look, he's as far back as the line as possible, yet the car doesn't fit. I mean,
Well, we'll talk to our city manager, see if that's something we can change at this point, okay?
okay, thank you.
And our
guys.
police chief. We'll talk to him, see if we can or not.
Okay, is there a time
Look,
or a place where I can look for
right here,
follow-up on it?
you could talk to our city manager, he'll give you a form.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for coming up. Anybody else wishing to address the city council? If not, I declare oral communications closed. So ordered. Mr. Clerk, the consent calendar, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have 8 items on the consent calendar tonight. They are items 1 through 8 for your approval, for your consideration and approval. Item 1, approval of waiver of full readings of resolutions and/or ordinances on tonight's agenda. Item 2, city treasurer requests approval of the warrants for October 10, 2023. Item 3, resolution number 8434, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Hawthorne, California, approving an amended budget allocations for specified elected officials for the 2023 to 2024 fiscal year. Item 4, resolution number 8435, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Hawthorne, California, providing for the terms and conditions of part-time employment for those employees represented by the Hawthorne Municipal Employees Association part-time according to the provisions of the Hawthorne Municipal Code, and authorizing the city manager to execute HMEA-PT Memorandum of Understanding, MOU. Item number 5, resolution number 8436, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Hawthorne, California, dedicating October 2023 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Item 6, resolution number 8437, authorizing the destruction of various Finance Department records pursuant to resolution number 7170 and Government Code 34090. Item 7, resolution number 8438, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Hawthorne, California, authorizing, approving, and ratifying the submittal of the fiscal year 2023-2024 State of California Office of Traffic Safety Ride to Live Motorcycle Education Grant number MC24005. Item number 8, resolution number 8439, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Hawthorne, California, authorizing, approving, and ratifying the submittal of the fiscal year 2023-2024 State of California Office of Traffic Safety Selective Traffic Enforcement Program, STEP, grant number MC24005 for adoption.
I make a motion.
Second.
Please vote.
The vote reflects mayor and council voting yes.
Mr. City Manager, did the necessary repairs on the electronics up here, was that made? For all the buttons?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. Just checking, because I might forget later on to ask. Thank you, sir. The city manager's consent calendar, Mr. Clerk, can you read items 9 through 13, sir?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. City manager's consent calendar, items 9 through 13. Item number 9, progress payment number 3 in the amount of $141,110.06 due to Elecnor Belco Electric of Chino, California, for Hawthorne Boulevard Mobility Improvement Project Phase 2, project number 23-01. Item 10, progress payment number 6 in the amount of $313,310.00 due to Elecnor Belco Electric of Chino, California, for Highway Safety Improvement Project Traffic Signal Upgrade and Reconstruction 120th Street Improvement Project, Prairie Avenue to Felton Avenue, project number 21-06. Item 11, the Los Angeles County Regional Park and Open Space District Technical Assistance Program, multi-jurisdictional fund. Item 12, community cleanup event. Item 13, annual rent increase for city-owned multifamily affordable housing units. Mr. Mayor, that concludes the city manager's consent calendar. May I have a motion to approve items 9 through 13?
I'll move.
Second. Oh, it's been moved by Mayor Pro Tem, seconded by Councilmember Montero. Please vote.
The vote reflects mayor and council members voting yes.
Okay, now for our city attorney's consent calendar. Mr. Clerk, there's one item. Can you read it?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. That's item 14 on city attorney's consent calendar. Fiscal year 2023-2024 budget adjustment to account number 250-1901-736-0-0-45554 Arthur J. Gallagher Insurance from $125,000 no cents to $200,000 no cents, and approval of a blanket purchase order for the same. Recommended motion, staff recommends that the city council approve the fiscal year 2023-2024 budget adjustment to account number 25-1901-736-0-0-45554 Arthur J. Gallagher Insurance from $125,000 no cents to $200,000 no cents, and approve a purchase order for the same amount. Mr. Mayor, that concludes the city attorney's consent calendar. May I have a motion to approve item 14?
I move.
I'll second.
Please vote.
The vote reflects mayor and city council members voting yes.
Correct. We have a successor agency item, and I'm going to have to recess the city council meeting and open up the successor agency. So that just took effect. Mr. Secretary, Mr. City Clerk, item 15.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Successor agency item 15, housing successor agency reports for fiscal year ending 2021-2022. Recommended motion, staff recommends that the city council receive and file the City of Hawthorne Housing Successor Agency annual report for fiscal year 2021-2022. May I have a motion to approve the item, Mr. Mayor?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Please vote.
Okay, the vote reflects chairman and agency members voting yes.
Okay. Mr. City Manager, you received the form from the gentleman? Okay, good.
Reconvene.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. I will now close the successor agency meeting and reopen the city council meeting. We have an item from Councilmember Reyes English that I'm interested in talking about too. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. Real quick, for those that might not know, just taken effect on October 1st. I don't know if council colleagues are following this. However, there's, as of October 1st, is a zero bail policy that's in effect. There are some concerns. I've received a couple calls, not too many. However, it's for minor offenses, those that are committing minor offenses that are considered misdemeanors, if I'm correct. How do you say that?
Misdemeanor. It's actually non-violent offense. It includes some felonies as well.
Okay. But for those that are less, right, less than a felony, et cetera, there are some cities that are opposing it. Some of those cities are currently suing. However, being a part of the League of California Cities, our city, and myself and the mayor being a delegate and alternate, there was a letter that was sent to the Los Angeles Superior Court from the League of California Cities, basically, asking that they strongly urged the court to suspend the October 1st implementation of the pre-arraignment release protocols. And so I just wanted to see the thoughts of my colleagues with regards to this new policy. Some concerns that have come up are repeat property theft, business theft, things that might be minor to some, but considered, you know, something that could be possibly repeat offenders, knowing that they're just gonna, you know, get a slap, if you will, and go on their way. There's also concerns for, say, for instance, mental health component, which speaks to those that are maybe suffering from mental health illnesses and need help in that way. That is something that is vulnerable and something that they don't see a way out from. And these are just some of the concerns. I wanted to be able to support some of the things that I just made mentioned, and some of those cities that are obviously not entertaining a no bail. I understand the other side to it as well. However, you know, I represent the city of Hawthorne, one of 88 cities in the county of Los Angeles. And it's something that I thought we should at least make it known, make a presence on what our thoughts are and how we feel about that. Go ahead, Matt.
All right, so thank you for bringing this up. I appreciate the boldness for this council and my colleague to bring it up in light of the fact that we have the DA probably listening to what we're talking about right now, right? So that's the part that we gotta, it seems like, oh, it's kind of scary, but I had the privilege of going down to an Independent Cities Association conference in San Diego, and the lunchtime keynote speaker was District Attorney George Gascon. So I got an opportunity to listen to his rationing and thinking for this, and I appreciate his you know, forthrightness and being open to the group. I got to say hello to him before, and you know, just commended him on, you know, what his services are to our county and such. And I was looking forward to hearing. So essentially what this is, guys, is that they want to make it fair because people of color, people who kind of you know, are part of, you know, a different strata of society as perceived by, you know, many, are not given a fair shake. It seems like people of color seem to be in like in a recurring position where they're not able to get out. You get all the white collar crime people or the people that live in different areas seeming that they can afford to get the bail and get themselves out, and somebody who can't afford the bail is stuck in jail. So I understand that aspect of trying to evening everything out. But ultimately, that whole concept of bail needs to be sorted out. But taking away the concept of releasing people who are who might break into one of my council colleagues' homes, and you go to, you know, you get booked and then you get released almost immediately. You know. Well, how can you even like say, hey, I want to call the police and report a crime? Somebody gets, you know, they break into one of my council colleagues' homes. You call the cops. They get arrested, they get booked real quick, they don't even get taken to downtown, and they know that they got who called the person who was victimized. So who are they gonna go and have retribution against? You know, people who do crimes don't blame themselves and take responsibility for stuff. They'll place it on my council colleague, or I'm sorry, whoever here, you know? So what's more important, protecting those that are committing the crimes, or our neighbors or our residents here in the city of Hawthorne or all around? I think that's what needs to take priority, and I think that's what this whole thing loses sight. Again, I understand the concept of trying to make everything fair, but I think that that's a different conversation that needs to take place, and maybe re-looking at the bail concept itself, not removing it, okay? And why do I think I deal with prison and jail inmates all the time? That's what my day job is. I teach math and science to the adult inmates in the county jail. I go there every day and I hear the same story. And I can tell you guys that they're very happy about this type of stuff. They are celebrating this zero bail concept. I hear Mr. Vargas, what do you think about this? Isn't that a good thing, right? Right? It's like, oh, I'll just stay quiet, right? Because we oversee our own police agency, and I can't really comment on that stuff. I have to be as discreet as possible. So, I just think that this is good that you brought it up. Even though I respect what the concept of the it's trying to achieve, it's still, we need to prioritize our residents and the people we're tasked to protect.
Yeah.
So I'd be willing to support this and letting them know that I don't think I dig it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's about accountability and responsibility, right? Which oftentimes repeat offenders don't seem to think that that's, what it is. And as soon as they commit the crime and they're let go, they'll go do the next thing. And, sometimes it's difficult to even see that those crimes as they are actually being committed. So it's a concern, again. I know there's folks that have supported it. And, again, it's neither here or there. I'm talking about our city of Hawthorne and what I've heard from constituents in our city. So, do you have anything?
Yeah, so as it regards to repeat offenders, that's the key word, is repeat offenders. So if they're repeat offenders, obviously, I don't agree that they should have bail, because they're repeat offenders. But when this is created, when it's targeted to people that are maybe have done something one time and then learn their lesson, then that's a different thing. And I think, in some cases, folks deserve another chance. You make one mistake and you definitely deserve another chance. So, when you're making that decision and you're trying to decide, is it for repeat offenders? Like, what are the different levels that it apply to? Because if you're a repeat offender, you get bail, then that's a problem. But do they have different scenarios that it apply to, as to if somebody does something one time, then, I would support them getting bail. But obviously, if they're repeat offenders, I wouldn't. So I would be interested to see what different levels or what different scenarios that are applied to that person that is committing that crime.
So I want to just give you a piece of feedback on that, and the city attorney can step in whenever needed, is that we're just talking about the bail part, whether they get to sit in jail or just go home after they're prosecuted. So the prosecution aspect of it is still going to go forward. They could skip the bail. This could skip on the bail. They could just disappear. That could be a problem, whether it's a repeat or initial offender, etc. So now, whether the district attorney is going to prosecute certain crimes, that's already been a contentious topic. That certain crimes have been recategorized as misdemeanors are not prosecuted, right? Nonviolent crimes have been just kind of looked away
they
from.
let people go.
So just wanted to clarify. Mr. City Attorney, could you assert that or just maybe give your insight into that, please?
So yes, there was a district attorney's directive when he first was elected to not prosecute certain misdemeanor offenses that included trespassing and loitering for prostitution and things of that nature, and public intoxication. This is a zero cash bail is a discretionary policy issued by the site judge of the LA County Superior Court, who under the state law has the discretion to issue a bail schedule. So it's within the court's discretion to issue bail. The bail is pretrial bail, so it primarily affects the law enforcement of how to once they find a suspect, with probable cause for committing certain nonviolent offense, what should be done? I think the protocol, as they're recommending, is immediate citation. But I think this is a more of a police policy of what to do with the suspect with nonviolent offense. There is a measure where public safety is concerned and where the officer wants to arrest the suspect and keep him in custody. There is a protocol of going to a magistrate. But in terms of the details of what are the options of the police department, I think the chief of police has more knowledge on
Good.
that issue.
Chief, would it be improper to hit you up about this? Or can you give us your take from your perspective? I kind of already have a stance, but can you please help us out?
Certainly. Staying on topic of the issue of zero bail, the Los Angeles County Police Chiefs Association has taken an official standpoint and perspective that this is not in the best interest of advocating for the people who have been victims of crime. So I'm not just talking about individual human beings, I'm talking about business entities that might be facing a repeated theft issue. As the city attorney has already mentioned, that we do have some discretion as the arresting agency. So if a Hawthorne police officer is dispatched to a call and arrests somebody for a misdemeanor crime or nonviolent felony that currently qualifies for zero bail consideration, there is a safety net in place that allows us to make a phone call to a magistrate and essentially make our case to say to the magistrate that we think in this specific instance, this person should be held until he or she can post cash bail. That is not a guarantee that the magistrate will rule with us. So the biggest concern on the zero bail issue from the law enforcement perspective, and this is consistent with LA County Police Chiefs Association, is that an individual could be arrested for a specific crime, released, commit that crime again within 30 minutes, arrested again, released again, and it's a never-ending cycle. And until we are able to do a magistrate review following an arrest that sides with us, that we are now required to release that person with zero bail. And therefore, there's no back-end accountability to get that individual to court on their prescribed court date. That's our biggest concern.
And
So, Chief, I'm just thinking of an example. So let's just say an 18-year-old go to the grocery store and steal some food because they're hungry. That would be that you would arrest that person, and then you have the ability to make a decision whether you would ask for bail or not, right?
Yes, ma'am. So there are actually several layers there. So the first layer that we have the option to the first course of action that law enforcement has is we are authorized now to cite and release. So that would be somebody is shoplifting from a store. We arrest that individual and we write them a ticket in the parking lot of that store and release them in the field. And for obvious purposes, as the Hawthorne Police Department representative here today, we will not be engaging in that because that does not provide the level of service that our retail stores in the city of Hawthorne deserve. So we have taken that off the table. The second option is what we call a book and release. And that is the shoplifting situation that I just previously mentioned. We will arrest that individual, physically bring them to the station, put them through the booking process in our jail, but then we're required by zero bail rules to release that individual without them posting bail. And once we release them, they can go right back to the same store and commit the second theft. And the third option is we can make our case to the on-call magistrate and ask that magistrate to enact a bail amount because this individual has committed the same crime 3 times in the last 72 hours
Gotcha.
at the same location.
Thank you.
Question.
yes.
Chief, in that particular instant, only if the crime committed is less than $900, right? Because there is that $900 statute that was passed a few years back.
That is correct, sir. So that we're now getting into a differentiation between what is considered a felony in the state of California versus what is considered a misdemeanor. But I would like to caution the city council on thinking of that perspective. There are several crimes that are still classified as felonies that zero bail has designated as non-felony or zero bail felonies, non-violent felonies. And that's the burglary call that one of the council members already previously mentioned. If somebody breaks into my residence and they're arrested, and that's not, that's considered a property crime, that person will be released from custody with zero bail.
Now, who, is this law was passed by voters or just somebody from the LA County DA decide, and then we have to go along because we have our own prosecution, right? It's we prosecute our own.
We
So
do.
one of the nuances, Mr. Kim, would you like to take that? Or-
Yes, thank you. So yes, we are one of the, I think, 10 cities in the LA County that prosecutes misdemeanor crimes. But the zero cash bail comes from the discretion of the head judge of the Superior Court. And that's by state law. Each county Superior Court judge has a discretion to issue a bail schedule. So previously, as a prosecutor, we would get a annual bail schedule from the judge at the beginning of the year for different offenses that sets amount. This year, it's just zero. And it's pursuant to some lawsuit that was brought against the LA County and City of LA that the bail system is discriminatory. So based on that, the judge made his or her discretionary decision to implement the zero cash bail.
Mr. City Attorney, do you know the name of that judge?
No, I don't know offhand.
Is that an elected position?
It could be elected, but it could be appointed by the governor.
Okay.
Thank you, Chief. Again, out of public safety concern, we've seen organized retail theft occurring every night on TV, every day. Property-related crimes, again. Now, unlike Prop 47, where those that have served prison time, they've done their time, they become they have a new walk in life. However, they're unable to inquire employment, right? So that was Prop 47 that actually assisted with expungement of record. Remember that?
Yeah.
So that when you apply for a job, that's not hindering over you, and you're able to not have to list that time that you served for a particular crime, which I believed in that. I supported Prop 47, so that there are opportunities for those that have done their time. They now have a family, they now have children. They're a different person than maybe when they were younger, et cetera. So, that Prop 47 was helpful in some ways, right? However, the no bail is concerning for the reasons that you heard here tonight from our attorney and our city chief, and some of the leagues, League of Cities, expressing concern for their own communities, their own cities. Again, this is not, in my opinion, something that's political. It's nothing that has to do with, feeling that, we have to go one way because everybody else is, or et cetera, et cetera. It's simply out of the sincerity of the concern for public safety in our city, in the city of Hawthorne. And again, I just want to see if we could maybe make a letter of support to the League of California Cities, just expressing our support. We can't touch, obviously, the other cities that are already suing, which is 12 cities. Again, we have our own prosecution. We don't fall in that line. They have to go through the DA's office, LA County DA's office. We have our own, and we do things differently here. However, I just want to show solidarity and with regards to our stance, and that's simply it.
I'll concur.
It's nothing more than that, and just wanted to make a motion and ask if we could just have that for the League of Cities to see that we did this at tonight's council meeting.
Can we do that by consensus as opposed to a vote?
Yep. I'll make a motion.
Second. Please vote.
Just to send the letter to the city.
Yeah, the California League of Cities, yes.
All right.
Thank you, council.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So we'll move on to elected officials reports, and we'll start off with our wonderful city treasurer. Yes? Nada?
No, I said thank you. No, I don't have any.
Oh, no comment. All right, well, okay. So no news is good news? Okay, okay, there you go. City Clerk's office, you have anything to?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. The city clerk couldn't be here today. She was feeling a bit sick, had a bit of the sniffles, so she opted to stay home as a precautionary measure. These are what her remarks. She's looking forward to seeing everyone soon. She wants to thank everyone who attended the Hispanic Heritage event this past Saturday. Over 700 people attended and received
Wow.
food, and some received gift cards courtesy of United Way.
Awesome.
And also says thank you to Treasurer, Council Members Patterson, Montero, and the best city manager in the world, Vaughn Norris. Those are her words, not mine, okay? I have her notes here.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just the messenger.
I agree.
She also thanks Our Commitment and Feed the Streets Cali for handing out essential items and socks to residents. And also finally, a reminder about this Friday, there's the tour at the private suites at LAX at 4:30 p.m.
Oh,
That is all from her. Thank you.
Awesome. Hey, and I also want to thank her for this awesome little gift that she gave us, myself, and Mayor Pro Tem got one in recognition of Hispanic Heritage Month. So
Yes.
thank you to our city clerk.
thank you, Dana, if you're watching. Appreciate that greatly.
Councilmember Katrina Manning, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Wanted to say that I had an opportunity to honor with a certificate residents Dr. Yusuf Cadell and Naya Cadell. They've been a resident for 50 years. The wife, it was their birthday. The wife turned 98 and the husband turned 99.
Bless their hearts.
So it was a great experience to be able to give them a certificate, and they love the city of Hawthorne. So shout out to Dr. Yusuf Cadell and Nadia Cadell. Also had an opportunity to attend the 5-year anniversary of, was it Mendocino Wood Pizza next door? It was great. The food was good. Took pictures. And we definitely need to continue to support our businesses in the city. And with that being said, I definitely, city manager, want to be able to highlight a couple of businesses each month at our city council meeting because they had this anniversary, but it was probably only 10 people at this celebration, and they definitely deserve to have more folks. I know more than 10 people eat pizza. I can eat 10 slices by myself. So that's a directive that I want to make sure that we're doing that in conjunction with Business Connect.
Yep.
Also, I had an opportunity to attend with my fellow colleague, Alex Montero, the 20th anniversary of the South Bay Environmental Service Center. Our fellow council member was so gracious to bring them a certificate of recognition, and we took a picture, and it was great, and we ate cake and had a good time. And so that was really fun, and I appreciate him thinking ahead to make sure that we were one of the cities to present them a certificate. Also, I had an opportunity to attend Crystal Sayers' yearly gala where our supervisor, Holly Mitchell, was being honored. And she just wanted me to make mention that if you have an opportunity to go by the library and see the work that they've done outside, we're still in negotiations to try to get the inside open. So I just wanted to give you an update. But she wanted me to make sure that you knew go and take a picture, go and pose in front of it, whatever that suits your fancy. But go take a look at the library. It's on 120th and Van Ness, east side of the heart of the city. Also, I had an opportunity to go to Monday Night Football. I don't understand football, but I was a part of the Monday Night Football with the Carpenters, and had an awesome time with them. They're going to be coming to do a presentation, but really want to talk about people who are not cut out or interested in going to college, but looking for an opportunity to be successful in a career that will provide them quality of life, good paying wages with medical insurance. So they currently have an apprentice program that they have, and it starts every month. So they will be coming next council meeting to make a presentation and share more about their apprentice program. And during their apprenticeship, you also get paid. So I'm looking forward to that. And then also, the last thing that I want to say that unfortunately, Officer Chad Swanson passed away. He was, I think, an employee of our city on a parking enforcement, but also Manhattan Beach. He passed away last week. And so I just want to send out prayers for his family. I understand he just had a baby. And so I want to say a prayer. And then, if possible, maybe we can make a donation to city manager, to his wife, if possible. I'm going to also make a personal donation to the family, but I also like to end the meeting in honor of him. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilmember Alex Montero.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming, and for those at home to listen. So it seems like it's going to be a short meeting tonight. So first, I just wanted to mention, Mr. Mayor, because the South Bay COG, the city, not the city, the County of Los Angeles is creating a Blue Ribbon Commission on homeless, right? And apparently, they have appointed, the mayor of Los Angeles, the president of Los Angeles City Council, and then there is 4 city members, and we are part of the Southwest Corridor, and it's going to be a vote on Thursday, October the 12th at 9 a.m., where all the mayors supposed to be and vote. So the South Bay COG and our region is going to nominate, one of the council member for the city of Redondo Beach, Page, because Redondo Beach was the first one to do the pallet shelters in this area. So and they've been doing the care court over there. So they want us to support Ms. Page for this Blue Ribbon Commission for the South West Corridor. Okay. So if the mayor pro tem goes, and I don't know.
The mayor's right down the street at county jail. No?
It's kind of hard getting out of there, though.
All right, so it's
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
9 a.m. on Thursday at Kenneth Hunt Hall Administration. Yes, this weekend actually was a lot of things happening. Actually, on Friday night, I attend a gala that was celebrating the 50th year of the California Legislative Caucus, because it's the Hispanic Heritage Month, so it was 50 years they celebrating a lot of the accomplished that they have done in California. So it was a lot of people there. And I took a proclamation to facilitate them for their 50th anniversary. The other thing on Saturday, I came in, with our clerk, city clerk Dana, was a lot of people online, around the corner getting food and gift cards. So 700 people and it was a good day. And then I stopped by the Memorial Center where they were giving the rain barrel, right, giveaway, where the West Basin and the South Bay Cog, they gave close to 300 rain barrel for the upcoming raining season, right? So to make sure that the rain doesn't flush going towards the ocean. So you can do good stuff about it. And just a quick reminder, right, that the Hawthorne President's Council is going to have the community dinner on October 19 at 5 p.m. at the Memorial Center. And this dinner is to raise money for the Holiday Assistance Program, where we give, Thanksgiving and Christmas baskets and toys giveaway. And just keep looking in our city website. There is a lot of events coming up, the Halloween, home decoration, fiesta in the park on October 20th, right? And so a lot of stuff is coming up. Also housing, a housing fair that is a landlord attendance walk-in clinic that did, landlord and tenant disputes. So look at our flyers out there. And Mr. Mayor, I'm going to give our city attorney a directive because, as you know, some of the commissioners, some of the commissions that we have, especially the Planning Commission, we have not been having a quorum for people to conduct the business of the city of Hawthorne, especially when it comes down to the Planning Commission. So I would like the city attorney to create an emergency ordinance that would allow the commission to stay. I want those commission to be like 5 people in each of those commission until you appoint and we voted on the new commission, because the city of Hawthorne, we cannot afford to have only 3 commissions, because if one doesn't show up, there is no quorum, and then there is no business. So, and then we cannot be afford to keep those projects in the desk instead of moving forward. So I'm giving a directive for an amendment for an emergency ordinance that can be voted next meeting, and it will take effect immediately, okay? Do you concur?
Let's see what it looks like.
All right. Thank you. That's it for now.
All right. Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mayor. Just want to make a couple of acknowledgements. I know that we have October being Domestic Violence Month. However, we forgot to include Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And so these are ongoing recognitions that I've made throughout the years, but let's include October Breast Cancer Awareness Month. 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in their lifetime. That is 1 person every 2 minutes in the United States. The 2 most common risk factors of breast cancer are being born female and getting older. In 2022, it was estimated that nearly 44,000 people in the U.S. will die from breast cancer. So my message to you today, get tested.
Yeah, a cousin of mine died of breast cancer.
I also want to request the City Council provide a support for the Redondo Beach Lawndale Metro C line extension. I'm sure there's been a lot of folks listening to that. It's been on the news.
Yep.
It's a little delayed right now because of some findings that were dug up, but I'm sure things will eventually move forward. However, I was contacted by the Assistant City Manager in the city of Redondo Beach, Mr. Luke. Thank you so much for calling. And I'll probably ask to put this on the next agenda, but basically asking for the city to include their support in a letter, and then more importantly, through a vote. So I'll leave that there, and that's going to be great for a lot of South Bay riders. That could get you from, let's see, Redondo Beach to Torrance.
Yes.
So for those that are regular riders, I'm sure you are excited about that. I did more bus than I did C extension Green Line, but I have used the line on Imperial to get down to the Staples Center for some games and things. I know it's not called the Staples Center anymore, but that was my contribution to public transportation. And part of the South Bay Sector Board. I sat for 3 years and assisted with policy for ridership on the buses, and that's how I met Mr. Larry here. Yeah. I also want to make mention, in recognition of Latina Equal Pay. There's lots of talk on that. Latino or Latina Equal Pay basically is Latinas in California earning just 42 cents for every dollar earned by non-Hispanic men, the most significant wage gap in the nation, and a persistent trend for well over a decade. Back in 2012, I presented a resolution 7480, and it was presented here during that time, and I spoke about supporting all women to assure that they receive equal pay for equal work. And so I want to make sure that Resolution 7480 is mirrored with a new resolution for Latina Equal Pay, and we could bring that to the next council for a vote. Some other things here. I want to just acknowledge some of the events that I participated and attended. I want to give congratulations to those that were honored at the Hawthorne Historic Society Hall of Fame induction that was done at the Ayers Hotel. And those individuals that received was Dick and Alice Hune, Chip's Restaurant, the Rotary Club, Mr. Awala back there, and then there was also Victor's Market and Darvis Johnson. And it's been a long time since I've seen Ms. Johnson, but she looks really good. She looked really good. And so just want to acknowledge that and thank the city who purchased a table and participated in those folks that attended and sat at our table. We had a great time. And thank you, City Manager, for inviting the council to attend. I also attended, there was a food giveaway. It happened a couple weeks ago for LA County, 2nd District, Holly Mitchell's office, and that was at the Hawthorne Memorial Center, and they did the car where you stay in your car, and they just basically open your trunk, your back seat, or whatnot, and give you food. And let me tell you, those boxes of food were great. There was over, I believe, 1,200 boxes distributed. The boxes included milk, eggs, rice, potatoes, onions. And a lot of folks that received those boxes told me that they really appreciate it, and it was a great effort to get food out, again, to those that are in need. I also had an opportunity, and I want to thank the Department of Public Works for the Hazardous Waste Roundup. There was a lot of cars that participated in that, and folks emptying. My goodness, I was seeing TVs from like literally the 60s. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. But yes, folks still had a lot of things that were probably way long time ago, including computers, tabletop computers, and those computers that, you know, with the big monitors on the back, and the TVs that with the big monitors on the back, not the flat screens, but we saw everything. And so, again, I want to thank the Department Public Works, the department head, and those that were out there, including Vaughn, and back in the back over there, Alina, she was there, and I don't remember who else, but Channel 22 was there. So if you saw it on Channel 22, I'm telling you, you need to take advantage of a hazardous waste roundup, and especially bulky item roundup. Those are the best events to have, especially if you want to clean out your home. This Thursday, Torito has, in staying in the festive Hispanic Heritage Month, El Torito has 69th year anniversary, and they're providing free tacos. Thursday, October 12th from 3 to closing. Saturday, October 14th, there's the skateboard lessons from 2 to 4, again at Hawthorne Memorial. And you could always look it up too on our city web page. And there was also the October 14th, the water harvest. I believe we already talked about that, or we already talked about that, right? We had the, what, barrels?
Rain barrel.
Yeah, the rain barrels. Also Thursday, October 24th, the Halloween home decorating. If you're into that, if you want to decorate your home, that's Thursday, October 24th. There's going to be a first, a second, and third place, and the winner will be announced on October 27th. Registration is Deadline is Friday, October 20th. There's also the Hawthorne Fair Housing Workshop with the Housing Foundation. That's a good one to know your rights, and more importantly, with changes to housing right now and rents and everything else, if you need someone to speak to about concerns that you have with regards to your housing and your rights, the Hawthorne Fair Housing Workshop is the best one to attend. Wednesday, October 25th, 2 to 4 o'clock at the Venus Room at the Hawthorne Memorial Center. And it looks like there's going to be also a spectacular, the Spookacular Halloween Carnival, Saturday, October 28th, 3 to 6. I know that we said that there's a lot of events, and there really is, and I can't express enough how grateful we are for those that put those on here for our residents. And then again, the landlord-tenant walk-in clinic, free housing counseling, Monday, November 6th. And this is a good one that I've worked with too, including Betzedic Legal Services. If you need assistance with your housing rights, again, these take advantage of these. You'll be glad that you did. And yeah, I think. Oh, I'll let you do the other one.
I was gonna.
Yeah.
We'll both do it together.
Okay, go ahead. That should do it, Mayor. Thank you. That should do it. Thank you. Okay.
All right, guys. I guess it's my turn. But Mayor Pro Tem Angie Reyes English and myself, your mayor of Hawthorne, Alex Vargas, would like to invite you to Fiesta in the Park, which is going to take place on Friday, October 20th. So it's called El Baile en el Parque, because we're going to have a live band playing music that you guys can dance to on a Friday evening from 6 to 9. And this is in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month. And what do Latinos, Hispanics like to do? We like to dance. So it's like, why not just, hey, just fit the stereotype. I don't care. We're going to have a good time, right? Come out. I'll dance a lot of great Spanish music. So there will probably be some performances as well. We're planning on having pan dulce, Mexican baked goods. Probably some drinks, typical drinks, maybe horchata, tamarindo. What else is there? Jamaica, whatever we can find that'll work. And then we're looking at getting some empanadas as well for you guys. So you guys can come and enjoy. And it would be great to see if Mr. Myers can salsa or not. I hear he's a great dancer, but I don't know if he does the salsa, the rumba or the cha-cha-cha, right? Everybody does the cha-cha-cha in the United States, right? Everybody knows that over here. So Friday, October 20th, 6 to 9. Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to also include not only the Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but if we could also add Indigenous People Day, and if we could also include Native American. I think all of those are important to the community that we serve. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, I guess you took it from a festive moment to like, oh, is that it? Yeah, but
Yeah.
of course, we
it's
want to
gonna be
make sure that
great.
everybody's taken care of. So we want to see you guys here, okay? We want to see the Haggertys too. I want to see what you got over there, man.
Yeah, no, we're excited because it's
Even if
coming
you go like
together.
this or whatever, I don't care.
And, I want to thank everybody that just jumped in and said, yes, they'll help us. So,
Yeah, so.
a lot of groups, our Hawthorne Police Department, our HPOA, businesses and restaurants, those that are donating their services, their time. And if you want to volunteer, we'd love to have you.
So I see two groups here that we would like to ask for your help. The Jose Marti Club, if you guys could tell the members of your group to come and attend, hang out with us. And the Holly Parks Homeowners Association group, if you guys could tell all the people in Holly Park to come and just hang out. Okay? And the Parkside Village and Ramona and, wow, we're covered. Islamic Center, if they could come out, whatever groups, Kiwanis Club, if you guys could help us promote this also, okay? That's awesome. Thank you so much. I'm pumped up. And it's a very good band. I could tell you, I saw them like 2 weeks ago, and they're very cool. And you guys are gonna have fun. So that's that. Very recently, I went to a convening of mayors with our supervisor Holly Mitchell, down in the city of Carson, and so it was the mayors from all the South Bay cities, well, the cities that fall under her coverage. And one of the topics that came up was the housing, the transitional housing for those who are unhoused or homeless. And I did mention that I think it was up in the air. I wasn't too sure. Do we have anybody from housing? Well, housing. There's on Imperial Highway. I was getting calls from some of the residents over there in the northern part of the city asking about Imperial Highway. There's a motel that's being converted into housing. Does that fall under the county's supervisor's jurisdiction, or is that something that's happening on its own? What can you tell us?
That hotel over there, that's within the Hawthorne limits, is that the one you're speaking of?
Yeah, over there on Imperial, across
Yes,
like
it's
Winchell's
a-
Donuts or something.
It's collaboration with Hawthorne and Inglewood.
And I talked to her.
Not Hawthorne, I'm sorry, with the LA County and Inglewood, not Hawthorne.
Okay, do you know the address? Can you give me the address at the end of the meeting, just so I can let them know that we're
4150.
4150?
4-5.
What is it?
4501.
4501 Imperial. And so I just mentioned to her that the residents had been calling me up, concerned, not knowing and sure of how this thing was going to go. And she told me and reassured us that there's going to be, of course, security, but most importantly, making sure that they get their services so that they can get the mental health evaluations if needed, good health, attention, and any services to get them out on their feet so that this is not a permanent situation for them, but as transitional as it's supposed to be. Okay, so just for the residents that were calling and asking about that, we just want to let you know that I looked into it, our staff looked into it, and our supervisor is very well aware of the responsibilities of taking on a program like this. Okay, so just so you guys could feel comfortable about that. Yeah, room key.
Another room key?
Yeah. But it's, I mean, the residents can, to ask and, we'll look into stuff for you guys. We wouldn't allow anything that's not going to go with, that's going to interfere with your quality of life. The metro extension, I'd definitely like to talk about that to see how it impacts us, if it impacts us positively or negatively. So I know I got the same calls from the Redondo Beach city council members, and we just need to see if it works for us too, okay? Because we don't want to necessarily change the character of what we have going on.
To the, to the chair, just on that topic, okay, because the Subway COG have discussed that extensively.
Okay.
There was 3 options, right? And that they have submit an option to the Metro, but the Metro have not taken position yet. So that is where, because some residents are opposing it, right, because of it's going to pass to some very close to some housing and some.
And yeah, I'd like to be very conscious of that too. It wasn't on my radar necessarily, right? But so now that it's being brought up, I'd like to see what the 3 options were and what was decided, and see if it's.
Just a point of reference, I did call and speak with staff here, including engineering, and that was something that I did first before saying that we would support. I wanted to hear if there was any concerns from the community, if there were any calls to City Hall with regards to this, and we didn't have any on record.
Okay.
The city clerk's office, I'd like to continue to just keep that open, that line of communication. If you get any opposition with regards to this new extension, to just let us know. But I did check, and there weren't any, so that was the reason I brought it tonight.
All right. Yeah, just because I said that doesn't mean I'm poising myself to oppose
Yeah.
this. I just want to just have all the information in front of me to have a healthy discussion and
Yep.
constructive too, All right, thank you. And I also want to send my condolences to Chad Swanson's family, police officer from Manhattan Beach, former parking enforcement officer, and I believe he was in our ranks as was he a, what was his, can you tell us what his
Sure,
other roles were here, please?
Prior to taking employment with the city of Manhattan Beach as a police officer, Chad Swanson worked as a full-time parking enforcement officer with the Hawthorne Police Department for just over 3 years.
Awesome. And so we want to honor him. And I know that some of the police officers had postings on social media of pictures that they had taken with him. He used to work here all the way back when Andrew Garden was here. We know he passed away as well, and Leonard Luna, when he passed away. So that's the era in which he was here in the city of Hawthorne, guys, like back then. So he's been a Manhattan Beach police officer all the way since. So I called up Manhattan Beach Mayor Richard Montgomery to send my condolences and condolences on behalf of the residents of Hawthorne. Okay? And if they need anything, just let us know. Real quick question, Mr. City Manager, I don't know if this should be directed to you. I was like collecting all the recyclables, and we try to keep them in a bag inside the house before we take them outside. Is there type of little thing that like a little box or something, that container that Republic has that we could put inside the house to collect stuff instead of keep it in a bag? Is there something?
I'm not aware of that, but I'll have staff reach out to Republic Service, our vendor
Yeah.
for our disposal trash, to see if there's anything possible for that type of a request.
A little small thing. I mean, I'm not saying that they want them to make it. Does it exist? Because somebody in another city told me that they were being given these little receptacles to put stuff in
For organic waste or for recyclables?
for recyclables.
Okay,
I
I'll
know
look-
organic there is for sure, but for recyclables, you pile it up, and once it reaches the top, then you take the stuff and sort it out outside. So you don't have to always go outside. You can just put it in there, and you don't want to keep a bag bouncing around inside that could just bounce around all over the place. So if there is such a thing, if you could let me know.
Will do, thank you.
All right. All right, so the last thing I want to mention is we know that there's some things going on over there in Israel, in the Middle East. Many people consider it Palestine. So there's two sides to the whole issue, and that's the point I want to make, that it's very unfortunate that things have to reach a certain point where people are getting killed. 700 maybe on one side, 800, and maybe 500 on the other side. You know, who did this attack, et cetera, you know, who initiated it. So I think we just need to be sensitive that there's two sides to the story over there. It's not just one-sided. You know, this time it's highlighted that one side attacked the other, but we also have to understand what the root causes are and why the one side felt that it was necessary to go in that direction and attack or do things, you know, out of frustration, out of being penned up, et cetera. There's a whole history that people need to understand and go way back in history to understand what's been happening throughout the years and years, and in the formation of Israel. Okay, so got to go back and see what the frustrations are on both sides, on why we got the Palestinians over there getting upset. They're not foreign to terrorist activities too. There was a Stern Gang. If people want to know, there was something called the Stern Gang and the Ergen Gang that would attack Arab villages as well. So they've been victims of terrorism as well. So it's unfortunate that's a back and forth ultimately. So we pray that there'll be some type of real sitting down, and that this doesn't have to be the alternatives that people have, and that both sides they're both sides of the instigators within both sides groups, because there's instigators within one group and there's instigators within the other. So we just need to be very conscious that there's two sides to the coin over there. But we just, I also want to close the meeting in honor of the victims on both sides. And we know that one of our members of our Islamic Center, one of his cousins was killed in the retaliatory attacks by the Israeli army. So it's hitting close to home, guys. It's pretty bad. So,
Mayor, can I just real quickly go back? I have another request.
go ahead.
Could I have staff add a legislative component to the agenda moving forward? This would be something that would be ongoing, just like a regular item on the agenda that speaks to legislation. So staff will be tracking policy. There will be policy that's put on the agenda that we would either take up, either in support or opposition. However, I don't want to make this, you know, a long effort. I just want us to track legislation because there's so much of it. And we've never had a legislative component to the agenda, ever. It's always been us, council members up here,
Bringing the information.
bringing items and bringing information. But I think it's important that staff let us be aware also of policy that's important to us. And, yeah,
Okay. So,
thank you.
so we're going to close the meeting in honor of Chad Swanson and the victims of the, I guess it's being called a war at this point over there, Israel, Palestine. Okay? We'll do that. We don't know how long we're going to take. Today's should be a short closed session. So, all right, guys. So Is there anybody wishing to speak on item 17 or 18? Would anybody like to speak on this? See no one, I'll declare oral communications closed so ordered. We are now in recess to conduct a closed session for a conference. Are we going to be doing both of these together or in succession? Huh? Do we have to come out for each one, or could we just go
We
in
should
suc-
come out for each one after.
Right? So we're going to do item 17 first. Public employee, go ahead and read it, Juan.
Sure.
17?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Item 17, public employee performance evaluation pursuant to Government Code Section 54957B concerning City Manager Von Trey Norris.
Anybody would like to speak on this? If not, I'll declare oral communication closed so ordered.
How to obtain a business certificate in the city of Hawthorne. First, check to make sure you have fulfilled all state and county business requirements such as becoming a legal entity, acquiring an EIN number, registering your business with the Secretary of State, obtaining any specialty licenses or permits, etc. To obtain a business tax certificate in the city of Hawthorne, check local zoning regulations. Come to the business license office for the business license or tax certificate packet. There's also a downloadable version online at www.cityofhawthorne.org/departments/finance/licensing/licensing-forms. Submit your completed application to the business license office for processing. Please only answer questions that pertain to the type of business you wish to operate. Not all items listed will apply. You may ask who will review your application for approval. The application will first go to the planning department to confirm the potential location is zoned for your business type. If you come into the office, you will walk your application to the planning office and they will send you back to business licensing if approved to pay for the business tax certificate. If not approved, you are not eligible for a business tax certificate. Options are to move to a properly zoned area or dissolve the business within the city of Hawthorne. Next, the application will be reviewed and approved by our Building and Safety Department. If your business applies, who will contact you to schedule an inspection of the physical property? Follow-up inspections may be necessary. Then, the application will be sent to the Hawthorne Police Department and LA County Fire Department, who will check for issues associated with the address such as excessive calls and more. The city manager and finally the city attorney will review what businesses are coming to the city, ensure all proper steps or approvals have been taken, and that there is no pending or past litigation against the proposed business. Upon final approval, a business tax certificate is created and mailed. This document is not given over the counter. Note, if your application is denied by any department involved in the approval process, please follow up with that department directly. What you should know: business tax certificates expire December 31st and renew annually January 1st to 31st. Taxes paid after January 31st will incur a 25% monthly penalty until 100% is reached. Taxes are based on flat fees or gross sales from the previous year. At renewal time, gross receipts are given. Calculations can result in an adjustment of taxes owed or credited. Please call the licensing office when trying to calculate your business tax for accuracy. If you have a credit, it will be applied to the next year's taxes. The city does not accept partial payments. If you do not have a business tax certificate, you may not conduct business in the city of Hawthorne.
Every day, over 100 Americans die from secondhand smoke. Secondhand smoke in children can cause asthma, ear infections, and increased risk of sudden infant death syndrome. Go to smokefreehomesla.com. Learn how you can protect your home from secondhand smoke.
7:27. Can you report out, Mr. City Attorney?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The council voted unanimously to appoint Councilwoman Katrina Manning to negotiate a new contract for City Manager Von Trey Norris.
Okay, let's take a look. Do we have another one?
Yes.
Another one?
Oh.
All right. Wow, okay, we'll talk about this one too. Mr. City Clerk?
Yes, thank you,
Item
Mr.
18,
Mayor.
can you read it?
Item 18, Public Employee Performance Evaluation pursuant to Government Code Section 54957B concerning Robert M. Kim, City Attorney, Special Counsel, Law Firm of Colantano, Highsmith, and Wadley, PC.
Okay, is there any member of the public that would like to discuss anything here? If not,
To the chair, real quick. Just for clarification purposes, can you, Councilmember Patterson is excused, however, he was not part of the discussion, so is there something that,
Say
because it was not
unanimous.
unanimous?
Oh, so the vote was by approving the appointment of Councilwoman Manning to negotiate a new contract with the city manager was voted approved by Councilwoman Manning, Mayor Vargas, Mayor Pro Tem English, and Councilman Montero.
okay, thank you.
Councilmember Montero, yeah. See?
So if there's no one wishing to speak on 18, we are going to recess the meeting at 7:29.
How to obtain a business certificate in the city of Hawthorne. First, check to make sure you have fulfilled all state and county business requirements such as becoming a legal entity, acquiring an EIN number, registering your business with the Secretary of State, obtaining any specialty licenses or permits, etc. To obtain a business tax certificate in the city of Hawthorne, check local zoning regulations. Come to the business license office for the business license or tax certificate packet. There's also a downloadable version online at www.cityofhawthorne.org/departments/finance/licensing/licensing-forms. Submit your completed application to the business license office for processing. Please only answer questions that pertain to the type of business you wish to operate. Not all items listed will apply. You may ask who will review your application for approval. The application will first go to the planning department to confirm the potential location is zoned for your business type. If you come into the office, you will walk your application to the planning office and they will send you back to business licensing if approved to pay for the business tax certificate. If not approved, you are not eligible for a business tax certificate. Options are to move to a properly zoned area or dissolve the business within the city of Hawthorne. Next, the application will be reviewed and approved by our Building and Safety Department. If your business applies, who will contact you to schedule an inspection of the physical property? Follow-up inspections may be necessary. Then, the application will be sent to the Hawthorne Police Department and LA County Fire Department, who will check for issues associated with the address such as excessive calls and more. The city manager and finally the city attorney will review what businesses are coming to the city, ensure all proper steps or approvals have been taken, and that there is no pending or past litigation against the proposed business. Upon final approval, a business tax certificate is created and mailed. This document is not given over the counter. Note, if your application is denied by any department involved in the approval process, please follow up with that department directly. What you should know: business tax certificates expire December 31st and renew annually January 1st to 31st. Taxes paid after January 31st will incur a 25% monthly penalty until 100% is reached. Taxes are based on flat fees or gross sales from the previous year. At renewal time, gross receipts are given. Calculations can result in an adjustment of taxes owed or credited. Please call the licensing office when trying to calculate your business tax for accuracy. If you have a credit, it will be applied to the next year's taxes. The city does not accept partial payments. If you do not have a business tax certificate, you may not conduct business in the city of Hawthorne.
Every day, over 100 Americans die from secondhand smoke. Secondhand smoke in children can cause asthma, ear infections, and increased risk of sudden infant death syndrome. Go to smokefreehomesla.com. Learn how you can protect your home from secondhand smoke.
The City of Hawthorne has revised the Hawthorne Municipal Code 12.04.031 pertaining to sidewalk repair and maintenance. The revised code places new duties and obligations on the property owners adjacent to sidewalks in conformance with the California Streets and Highways Code. The revised municipal code section can be found online at the website shown on the screen. A copy of section 12.04.031 is also available from the city clerk's office. Property owners are encouraged to consult their own legal counsel or insurance companies if they have questions about the legal impact of the new code section.
How to obtain a business certificate in the City of Hawthorne. First, check to make sure you have fulfilled all state and county business requirements such as becoming a legal entity, acquiring an EIN number, registering your business with the Secretary of State, obtaining any specialty licenses or permits, etc. To obtain a business tax certificate in the City of Hawthorne, check local zoning regulations. Come to the business license office for the business license or tax certificate packet. There's also a downloadable version online at www.cityofhawthorne.org/departments/finance/licensing/licensing-forms. Submit your completed application to the business license office for processing. Please only answer questions that pertain to the type of business you wish to operate. Not all items listed will apply. You may ask who will review your application for approval. The application will first go to the planning department to confirm the potential location is zoned for your business type. If you come into the office, you will walk your application to the planning office and they will send you back to business licensing if approved to pay for the business tax certificate. If not approved, you are not eligible for a business tax certificate. Options are to move to a properly zoned area or dissolve the business within the City of Hawthorne. Next, the application will be reviewed and approved by our Building and Safety Department. If your business applies, who will contact you to schedule an inspection of the physical property? Follow-up inspections may be necessary. Then, the application will be sent to the Hawthorne Police Department and LA County Fire Department, who will check for issues associated with the address such as excessive calls and more. The city manager and finally the city attorney will review what businesses are coming to the city, ensure all proper steps or approvals have been taken. and that there is no pending or past litigation against the proposed business. Upon final approval, a business tax certificate is created and mailed. This document is not given over the counter. Note, if your application is denied by any department involved in the approval process, please follow up with that department directly. What you should know: business tax certificates expire December 31st and renew annually January 1st to 31st. Taxes paid after January 31st will incur a 25% monthly penalty until 100% is reached. Taxes are based on flat fees or gross sales from the previous year. At renewal time, gross receipts are given. Calculations can result in an adjustment of taxes owed or credited. Please call the licensing office when trying to calculate your business tax for accuracy. If you have a credit, it will be applied to the next year's taxes. The city does not accept partial payments. If you do not have a business tax certificate, you may not conduct business in the city of Hawthorne.
Every day, over 100 Americans die from secondhand smoke. Secondhand smoke in children can cause asthma, ear infections, and increased risk of sudden infant death syndrome. Go to smokefreehomesla.com. Learn how you can protect your home from secondhand smoke.
Thanks. Miss City Attorney, what can you tell us?
Pursuant to California Government Code Section 54957.1, there is a reportable action. I'm sorry.
No, it was the mic. You have to speak to the mic because
You're good.
Councilmember Montero has been chosen to negotiate the performance review, evaluation, maybe extension of the contract with City Attorney Robert King. Robert Kim. And this is...
Can you report out who voted for that, please?
Mayor Alex Vargas, Councilmember Manning, and Mayor Pro Tem English.
And he gets to vote for himself. Councilmember Montero, right?
Councilmember Montero voted in favor of the negotiator.
Is there anything further, Ms. City Attorney?
That is all.
Mr. City Manager?
Thank you for allowing myself and Robert to serve under your leadership. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's our
Thank
pleasure. You both are doing a great job. All right. This meeting is adjourned at 7:58.